Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. So today we are setting up my April reading journal spreads. So for this month I decided to go with a theme inspired by my friend's debut novel coming out next week called The Last Love Song. As always, all my inspiration comes from Pinterest. So for the title page, I'm drawing a pink guitar with roses painted on to the body because it's something that holds a lot of significance within the story, so I wanted to make sure it was front and center in these spreads. So while I'm setting this up, I wanted to talk a little bit about Kalie's book. So it's a sapphic young adult book reminiscent of Mamma Mia. We mainly follow Mia, a talented songwriter and daughter of the late country star Tori Rose. The summer following graduation, Mia receives the first of many mysterious letters written in her mom's handwriting that leads her on a scavenger hunt around her small seaside town, bringing Mia closer to the real Tori Rose. It's a stunning YA novel and one of my favorites, so I hope you'll all pick it up when it releases next week. I will make sure to leave some links down below in the description for you to check out. So I'm just coloring in the guitar with a light shade of pink, and then I did the roses in 2 different shades of pink to add some dimension, and then I colored the neck of the guitar in a light brown, and then I drew some sheet music swirls behind the guitar with some rainbow colored music notes just to kind of fill up the space a little bit more. And then for the titles of all of these spreads, I just did a cute simple font on some ripped up pieces of pink paper, and I think it looks so cute. So on the other page I did a little quote page featuring one of Kalie's own personal favorite quotes from the book, which is "My last love song will always be for you." It's also one of my favorites. And then I drew some little roses and cut them out on the same pink paper that I used for the titles, and I just put those surrounding that. I absolutely love how these pages turned out. Moving on to my calendar spread. So I use this spread mainly to track the videos I'm uploading, any events happening, or anything releasing throughout the month. This month is really exciting because I have a concert. Taylor Swift and Luke Hemmings are releasing new albums, and I'm going to a Taylor Swift dance party. There's also some exciting books releasing like The Last Love Song, and Emily Henry has her new book Funny Story coming out, so lots of exciting things to look forward to. So for these spreads I'm just drawing out the boxes for the calendar. Then in the bottom right corner I drew a piano because it reminds me of a beautiful scene near the beginning that really launches Tori Rose's story. Then on the other side I drew a microphone, which I also felt signified an important part of Tori's story when she impromptu does karaoke and meets somebody who changes everything for her. Throughout the spread I also drew in swirls of sheet music to fill out the space a little bit with rainbow colored music notes. So I colored in the piano with the same light brown that I colored in the neck of the guitar on the previous spread. If I were to redo this now, I honestly would have done it in a darker pink color instead, just so it kind of matches with everything a little bit better. The brown just feels very out of place in comparison to everything else, but it's fine. So then I colored in the mic stand in the pink that I wish I did the piano in. And then I brought in the rainbow colors from the music notes throughout the calendar spread for the days of the week at the top, and also each individual day as well, just to really tie everything together. Overall, I really like how this spread came out. Then we have my days read, days written spread, so I'm just drawing out each box for every day of the month, and then I go in and number them all. I obviously use this spread to track what days I'm reading or writing throughout the month, which is something that I love doing. Functionally, this is always my favorite spread to use throughout the month. It's just really fun to kind of see when I'm reading and when I'm writing, and I just like to keep track of that kind of thing. And I say this in every setup video, but I always struggle with how to fill out the space in these spreads, and it's usually the last one that I figure out when I'm planning everything. So for this month I decided to put the sheet music at the bottom that I've been drawing throughout the other spreads. But I also added little rose doodles throughout as well. Roses are a big thing in The Last Love Song, from being Tori Rose's stage name and being painted on her infamous pink guitar, so it felt really important to make sure roses were present throughout these spreads. So I'm just coloring in the roses the same way that I did on the guitar in the title page, using a pretty pink color and then a darker one to add a little bit of dimension, coloring the leaves green. Then I color all of the music notes in rainbow. Overall, I really like how this spread turned out as well. It's simple, but it's cute. Next we have my To Be Read or my TBR spread. So I'm drawing envelopes along the sides of the pages because in the book Tori Rose leaves pieces of her story in colored envelopes for Mia to read as she discovers her story throughout their town of Sunset Cove. This is honestly one of the first spreads that came to me when I thought of this idea, and it's what made me really excited to bring this theme together. I'm really excited for my TBR this month. I'm still in my fantasy era, so I have quite a few fantasy books on the TBR, including the Daughter of the Pirate King trilogy. I actually don't know if that's considered fantasy, but I'm gonna say it's fantasy, the Six of Crows duology, which I will be filming a spoilery reading vlog for, and the Besties in Books book club pick, Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, but I also have some contemporaries in there as well to break up the fantasy. So I also added a Dutch door to this spread. In the final flip through, you'll notice that I ended up adding a sheet music around the envelopes because I realized after that the Dutch door wasn't peeking into anything, and that was really bothering me, so you'll see that in the final flip through. Then we have my books read spread, which is the same idea as the TBR page with the rainbow colored envelopes along the side. Normally my to watch or favorite spreads come after the TBR, but I don't have a to watch spread this month and I really wanted a Dutch door with the envelopes and I couldn't make it work with the favorites page, so I just switched the order a little bit to make this happen. Obviously this page looks a little bit simple right now, but throughout the month hopefully it will get filled up nicely with all the books I'll be reading. But I absolutely adore how the colored envelopes look. The colors look really pretty together and I just love the way it turned out. Now we have my monthly favorite spread, so here I track my favorite books, movies, and TV shows and songs throughout the month. So I just drew 3 boxes following the same layout I did in my journal last month because that really worked for me. And then in the empty spaces surrounding it, I did the same sheet music and roses design from the day's read and written spread to fill out the empty spaces. I thought it would be fun to talk through some of my March favorites while I set this spread up. I read a lot of good books in March, one of which I can't talk about because of the ongoing St. Martin's Press boycott, but I also read The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab and I really enjoyed that, as well as Viola Davis's memoir Finding Me, which I listened to on audiobook. As for movies, I finally watched Tick Tick Boom and I really loved that as well. The songs have been stuck in my head ever since and they were among some of my favorite songs, along with most of the songs from Olivia Rodrigo's Guts Spilled release. Then moving on to my writing goal spread, in the bottom right corner I drew Tori's pink rose painted guitar again, but this time I added cowboy boots and a hat to bring in the Nashville country vibes this book has as well, and then I added the same sheet music around it. I colored in the guitar the same way that I did on the title page, and then I colored in the boots and the hat in the same darker pink color to make sure that they popped against the guitar. I waited until after filming to add in my writing goals, but a main one is to work on brainstorming my new project that for now I'm just calling PEI book because I don't have a proper title yet, but I'm really looking forward to delving deeper into that project. But I absolutely love how this spread turned out as well. So that brings us to the final flip through of my April reading journal spreads. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out Kalie Holford's debut novel, The Last Love Song, coming out next week on April 9th. Like I said, I will leave some links down below for you to check out, but make sure to leave a like, comment what your theme for your reading journal is this month because I'd really love to know. Subscribe to my channel if you have not yet already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!